The Rough Drafts podcast is sponsored by Unicorn.com, the world's premier esport betting site. Log on today to bet on all your favorite esports titles at the simple click of a button. Choose your game, choose your team, earn unicoins, and who knows, maybe you'll earn enough to enter to win any number of fabulous prizes, such as Logitech peripherals or CSGO skins in their marketplace. Unicorn.com. Log on today.
This is Chase, RedShirtKing Wassenar. I am a free agent, head coach, and analyst, and welcome to our World's Quarterfinals Guess the Lines podcast. We are here. It is the quarterfinals. They have finally come. We are at the bracket stage. This is when the best 8 teams, theoretically, are here to duke it out for our amusement. It's going to be very interesting to see how these particular matchups go. It does feel like there's some one-sidedness in these, but that's because I think the gap between the top teams in each of these regions, with the exception of one that I think is pretty clear, are dominant teams from a dominant region. Who would have known that the Koreans would look really good at this tournament? But I'm getting ahead of myself. I should, of course, be introducing my good friend and co-host, Walter Ceades Fedczuk. Walter, how you doing, man?
Yeah, if we want to talk about one-sidedness and clear dominant favorites, I think we need to look at the scoreboard that's right above my head here that says, what does that say, Chase? What's the score? You want to go ahead and read that for the folks at home?
I believe that it is 29-28 in your favor.
27-28.
27-28 in your favor?
27-28.
I got ahead of myself.
But
so anyway,
there we go.
Look.
It's great.
Since when is that dominant? Like, I don't remember any time I said, like, oh, man, the Falcons won 24-21. What a dominant performance. That's not how dominant works. You can't just use the word dominant anytime you want to feel good about the fact
Listen, I've only won this once. I only won this once. I'm leading now. I'm the one who gets to write the narrative, okay?
Well,
History
that's
only
the
remembers
concern
winners.
I can't drop any points because I'm down 1 with 7 games left. So if I lose any points today, I'm only gonna have 3 games to make it up.
Yeah.
And if we even tie once, then I put myself in a pretty sucky situation. So
well,
I mean, all I have to do is be perfect. I mean, what more could one ask for here?
If you're
but
a perfect gambler, man, you can make a lot of money.
Yeah, look,
I gotta say.
It says esports gambling expert on my Twitter profile, so clearly I have the skill set necessary. We're not going to be doing a massive, preview of each of the series. We previewed each of these series for more than 15 minutes each. If you look at our Week 2 recap podcast, Part 2 in particular is when we looked at the quarterfinals.
Yep.
If you haven't listened to that and you want some hardcore analysis, go do that instead. Go pause the video. This will still be here, and go do that. This is us doing our gambling lines thing. We're going to break down what the gambling public at large have decided these games should be, and we're going to go on from there. It should be a lot of fun. And it starts by looking at these futures, Walter. You remember these?
I remember gambling on those, actually. Yeah.
You are not going to get as much value on the bet that you made as if you bet it now.
Well, that's fine.
For those of you who did not watch our preseason Guess the Lines, or pre-Worlds Guess the Lines, I should say, the futures are basically bets that have, do not resolve themselves over the course of one series. They're bets that are more long-term bets. That's why they're called futures. They're solved in the future. So, for example, if you look at the group odds, just to see how those all went down, Rocks won their group. They were minus 1,429, so they were just kind of boring in that way.
Yeah.
SKT won their group at minus 588. For Group C, you made some mad Skrilla if you picked H2K plus 1,100 for that particular line to come through. You would have had to predict the collapse of China, which, to be fair, is kind of becoming world's clockwork nowadays. So I don't think that would have been a crazy thing to assume. And if for Group D, Samsung Galaxy was right there at plus 175. All those teams were right next to each other. So, I mean, there you go. Hopefully one of you guys hit on the H2K line, because those were some pretty great odds that we completely ignored because we were all aboard the EDG hype train at the time. So,
rightly so. Rightly so.
Well, and this is where it's going to start hurting you a little bit. So, how have the futures changed? Let's start here, Walter. Which future do you think has changed the most since the last time we talked?
I'm gonna throw out the wild card here. I'm gonna say that it was Albus NoX Luna.
That is correct.
Awesome point for me. We're gonna go ahead and change that scoreboard real quick.
Okay. That's
There's my 29th point.
This is where I want that meme of the old ladies. That's like, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
You forget
Albus
I'm the
NoX
one in
Luna,
charge of the scoreboard.
If you thought Albus NoX Luna was going to win the entire tournament, you got plus 250,000 on that.
$250,000.
We said it was at least worth $1.
Yep.
Right now, if you wanted to bet Albus NoX Luna, it's plus 8,000.
Massive drop off.
That is, we have come down 242,000 points. And yes, I understand it's logarithmic. It's not that logarithmic. Like, that is incredible.
They went from 1 out of 16 to 1 out of 8. Like, they're now 1 of 8 teams.
Yeah,
so.
but to put it in another way, Cloud9 was plus 2,100. They are now plus 5,000. Their odds have gone in the exact opposite direction.
Well,
whatever faith people had in Cloud9 has completely deteriorated.
That's fair. That's totally
Edward
fair.
Gaming. Yeah, I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying how it is. Edward Gaming, you got it plus 250. Those are odds that you put on there's an episode on this YouTube channel where you put those odds.
Yep.
Do you want to know what those odds are today, Walter? Take a guess.
Plus 400.
Plus 1,800. So, the gods have not smiled upon you with that one, buddy. Yeah.
Well, it's okay. The gods aren't smiling upon me for them to win the tournament anyways, so.
No. The other
cost right there.
There's RNG
who's
plus
the favorite?
2,500.
Who's the favorite to win the tournament right now?
Well,
that's
I'll
what I'm
ask you.
curious
Who do you
about.
think is the favorite?
So it was Rocks Tigers.
It was. The original line, it was Rocks Tigers plus 150.
I think
SKT and EDG were at plus 250.
I think it's SKT now. Or
it
they're
is
even.
SKT now.
Okay. Yeah,
it's SKT plus 150. Rocks is right behind them at plus 175.
Makes sense.
And Samsung sitting there at plus 350.
I like those odds, actually.
Yeah.
They have the easiest path to the finals. So.
Oh, man. Riot just handed them a finals victory. What they really wanted is, like, look, we have Samsung from Season 4. We've got SKT from Seasons 3 and 5. The storyline is so obvious that even a monkey would be able to come up with the perfect package for it.
And they still get their Rocks SKT storyline, too. Like,
yeah, they still get Rocks SKT, assuming that, one of these Chinese teams has somehow blow everything up, and if they do, then we get to say, hey, look, China's back again. China's back. Tell all your friends. So seriously, tell them. They'll never believe you otherwise. Those are the futures. For those of you who are interested in the other ones, Royal Never Give Up plus 2,500, H2K plus 3,300. So,
I mean, we could also say that H2K has a really easy path to the World Championship, to the finals.
We could. As long as you ignore the fact that Samsung exists, that's fine.
Yeah, but Samsung's going to lose to Cloud9, so it's all good.
Oh, is that... Well, that's where we're starting this whole thing.
So,
yeah, segue there. Congratulations.
That was not on purpose. That was...
When you looked at this, we talked on the podcast. We did not come up with a single path to victory for Cloud9. At least not more than one game. It had to be a game where Jensen went insane and Crown was band out of the champions that were the most terrified.
Yeah.
When you looked at you looked over it one more time just to get this gambling line right. Was there anything that stood out to you? Anything that changed that impression for you?
Nope. Ambition's going to eat Meteos for lunch. It's going to be just a really, really incredible jungle series from Ambition, because Meteos, even though he can play in Italy, it's not the champion he should be playing, because he is Cloud9's primary form of engage 9 times out of 10. And you just can't do that with Italy. She can't be your primary form of engage.
No, engage is not. She's poke and siege, which there are a lot of poke and siege compositions at this tournament. We've seen it before. We'll see it again. But that means that impact needs to be your primary engage. I think that Gnar has proven to be inconsistent this tournament, we'll say. I'm going to try to move my camera around because this glare is not helping you guys at home. But yeah, it's been a little inconsistent. Sorry, I do what I can. So I'm not sure that that's a pick he's going to be able to rely on. When you look at other reliable engage in the top lane, it's been mixed. I guess you could say Echo, the parallel convergence, has been used as
I'd rather have
engage.
flanking. I'd rather have flash flanking Kennen.
I mean, that's which is
Echo's
would be a great thing to do if Impact had any idea how to do it. But there's nothing in the VODs that we watch that shows that Impact has any clue how to pull that off successfully. So
there was no Big Daddy Smed plays coming out of Impact. Let's just say that.
No, it's not been the way that things went for Cloud9. So it's time to say, where do you think this is going for Samsung?
I have Samsung as pretty heavy favorites. I have Samsung, if I get on the right screen here. Oh, I have Samsung at -400.
There you go. I had Samsung at -320, and my argument was that Cloud9 was North America's last hope, and that would help skew some of the bets a bit, because this is a Western book. And I also thought that of the teams that Koreans were playing this week, I thought that this was the weakest of the three. Like, Samsung, as well as they did, I do think that they're at least somewhat bannable. I would love to see Crown not get to play Victor 4 out of the 6 games in the group stage.
Oh,
How about
silly
that?
Chase. They're still a Korean team.
Well, yeah, and that's why I'm wrong. That's why you get the point, and this is when I get worried about this competition. Because the actual line is Samsung -556.
Wolf.
Which puts Cloud9 at +350. There is no respect. No respect whatsoever for the boys in blue. North America...
Envious? What are you talking about? Envious isn't at this tournament. Evil Geniuses? They don't exist anymore.
A different shade of blue. It's all about which form of blue you want to be going for.
Sky blue, because they're clouds. Get it?
You know what, Walter? This is the first time anyone has ever made that joke.
I bet in the history of Dota.
The award's coming in the mail today. Congratulations for finally figuring out the secret to Cloud9's merchandising. We're very proud. These are the kind of accomplishments that we strive for.
See, the thing you didn't know is that as much as I hate Jack, he actually hired me to come up with their merchandising strategy.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, love-hate relationship there. That's
you look, hate it or love it, underdogs on top. That's what the game taught me back in the day.
No,
we're not. No, the game references are allowed on this podcast. It's like the 150 Cent song where he's not a blabbering idiot. You have to like that song.
It's over my head. It's over my head.
Like, comment, subscribe. Hate it or love it. The game, overrated, underrated, properly rated. I think it's the best song 50 Cent and the game ever did. I'm throwing that out there. That's my opinion. For the rap esports crossover audience that a podcast run by 2 white guys clearly has, I want you guys to tune in. Please let me know. We're gonna move forward now that I've pulled that card.
I have no comment on any rap unless it's Slim Shady. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Okay. SKT versus Royal Never Give Up. Again, SKT, they're the favorites now. We believe they should be the favorites. They're like the one future you could have taken that that got better odds before than you would get now.
Yeah. It's
with the exception of, I guess, Cloud9, but
it's depreciated in value.
It's depreciated. It's which,
Which
congratulations to
we
them.
should've-
They're
we
now the
should've
favorites.
Figured, like, they weren't the favorites before. We should have guessed, like, yeah, of course they're gonna be favorites. They're starting Bengi.
They're starting Bengi.
That's
which
something we didn't know.
I was gonna say that's a huge plus. This was something we talked about on the recap show. Blank is good. There's nothing to say Blank isn't good, but it does seem to be whenever SKT says to themselves, "Okay, we actually need to take this opponent seriously. It is important for us as a fan base, or as a team, I should say, and for the sake of our fan base, to play our best jungler, the one that we feel most consistent, most confident about."
Mm-hmm.
They go to Bengi. And I think they're going to continue to go to Bengi.
Yeah.
In this kind of situation.
Yep.
Which means that in the finals against Samsung, they'll probably start Blank, just as a pure
Yeah,
BM move
they'll
against...
play Blank and they'll pull some. They can't pull Scout. They can't pull Easy Hoon. What random mid laner did they bring to play in the finals instead of Faker?
Well, see, this is why I get mad at Riot. It's like they did this whole thing for the entire year. You have 2 subs. You could have 2 subs. You can even have 5 subs if you want, if you handle it correctly. It's 2 subs for the playoffs though, for every region until Worlds, and they're like, nah, you can only have 1 now. Wait, why can we only have 1 sub now? Because Worlds. What does that change?
Because they don't want to pay for the extra people.
Worlds, yeah. What's the difference? I mean, really, like, with a 1 flight per team is going to cost you guys? Like, if that's your problem, you should be having... Like, how many billions of dollars did you make in microtransactions? Really?
Shh, that's not esports. That doesn't count. No, they lose money on their esports department. Keep eating that crow, please. We lose money on our esports department. We lose money on the LCS.
It makes me genuinely mad when I hear things like this. Whatever. I don't think saving the ticket is what is actually going on. I think that there's got to be something more to this. But
I don't know. I just know Bengi's
way,
starting, and I feel way better about SKT.
Bengi's starting. It's all good. And how does Royal never give up deal with that? Because now you have the supportive jungler who's here to set up SKT and everything else.
You don't have the right
team. Game for them, right?
You don't have. Yeah, I mean, Royal doesn't have the right team to beat SKT. They don't have someone that can match up against Faker, or that can even just anti-carry him. I guess Xiaohu did come out recently in an interview, and I forget who it's with, so I apologize to whatever news site I'm ignoring. But basically, like, came out and said that he didn't think that Aurelion Sol has really any counter picks, and we've seen that it's been a very efficient champion at kind of anti-carrying these star mid laners. Of course, Faker even came out and said, I don't think there's a mid laner left in this tournament that is at a, top tier level. So he's already doing his smack talk, which I love when the Koreans do because they're just so straightforward about it. Xiaohu has shown that he can play Aurelion Sol to a certain extent. I just expect SKT to ban it and just say, we don't want to deal with this. Show us what else you can play. And the big crux of RNG is Uzi and Mata, and I just think Bang and Wolf are too smart to be taken advantage of in the laning phase. So I really don't see an easy path to victory for RNG. They don't have anyone that really stands out enough that they're going to be able to take over their opposition in lane.
Yeah, and for the record, if your plan for beating SKT is like, oh, just don't let Aurelion Sol through, guess what? He didn't play Aurelion Sol once in the group stage. Not once. Faker never played Aurelion Sol. He played against it, and that was the one game they lost.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is, like, I guess Royal could play Aurelion Sol against Faker, but SKT can just ban it. If they're that worried about being anti-carried by it, you just ban it.
And here's the thing that everyone's forgetting. Like, we don't know if Faker can play it. Do you want to find out? Because if you want to find out, I'd love to find out.
I want to see what his counter pick would be.
Well, and I think the answer is going to be Rise. That's what people have been picking into
Irelia.
And I think that
Irelia.
I think that Faker's Rise is the best Rise in the world. I think it's continued to be that, and I'm not expecting that to change anytime soon. So,
did you see Ryu's Rise? That was a pretty good Rise.
Yeah, sure. For a random Korean player that's not even worth naming in an interview, Mako. Apparently, I'm gonna keep giving Mako credit for that. That was pretty bad. I know they have that one Korean guy. It's like that guy was the best mid laner in Korea until Faker came along.
Until Faker killed his soul.
Until Faker destroyed him so utterly that he is now nameless in interviews. But yeah, look, Ryu's rise is very good. Faker is Faker, and Faker's the best. I'm sorry, Ryu. Like, I need to see more from Ryu's rise before I say that it's better than Faker, who single-handedly won a game or two there.
Well, I can't single-handedly say it was better than Bjergsen's, so... There you go. You're better than the Faker of North America on Rise. How does that make you feel, Ryu?
Hey, look, the Faker of North America would never fail to get his team out of the group stage. That's all I'm saying. You would never question, is Faker going to get this team to the semifinals, at least to the playoffs, just by sheer willpower? The Faker of NA couldn't do it. So, I'm just throwing that out there. That is not a testament to, that's not Bjergsen's fault. I'm just saying, the Faker of NA is a guy who is so beyond that his 4 teammates could be inting, and he still finds a way. And
yeah, North America, he can do that. Yeah, North America,
well,
they can do that. That's why he's the Faker of North America.
Yeah, well, either way, look, one North American team made it out of groups, and it wasn't TSM. Where do you think the line is, Walter?
Well, Chase, you know how you said even ties are bad for you?
Yeah,
no. We get our first one here. SKT minus 400 for both of us.
I said, yeah, I should have gone higher. I don't know why I didn't go higher. I knew it was going to be higher than minus 400. And I remember now that you know how to bid high. So really, it's just me being silly at this point.
Yeah.
The actual line is minus 556.
Makes sense.
Which, for the record, means that the prop bets, and this is something I've noticed about the, about the way Unicorn does things. The prop bets are the exact same. They base it based off of the team odds, not on any advanced metrics for the team.
Interesting.
So, for example, things like First Blood. SKT, if I remember correctly, does not have a particularly high First Blood rate. Their First Blood odds are the same as Samsung's First Blood odds. Their Map 1 winner is the same as this SKT's Map 1 winner. Like, First Bear and First Dragon, these are all really exactly the same.
That's really, really weird.
Yeah, there's no way these two teams are equally as good at these things, or that they're weighed out by their opponents being equally as good at these things. It's just very clearly a formula that Unicorn uses, and look, we love our boys over at Unicorn, but those numbers just can't be right. There's value there for those of you who want to do a deep dive and figure out, well, does Samsung or SKT value Dragon a little less? I would say First Dragon on Map 1 going over to Royal Never Give Up and saying that Uzi and Mata maybe win lane and get an early Dragon, like, that's completely in play. And that would be at plus 120. I mean, that's all you have to... I mean, the bot lane's the only lane that matters for that, and you would expect...
It's Bengi.
Sure.
It's Bengi.
But I'm just saying, a plus 120...
Yeah, if you're comfortable taking that against the man who literally is the jungle, then sure.
This is why I hate any of these prop bets. There's never enough value in them.
Of course not. There's no
your
value.
one value comes in that maybe if you think it's going to be over 4.5 maps, but I don't think either of these series gets there. It's plus 240 if you think that it will.
I don't think any matchup goes above 4 maps. I think it's like 3 ones or better across the board.
See, and you and I have already talked about disagreeing on that with our last game of the game. But we got to get there. Rocks Tigers versus Edward Gaming. Pawn officially starting. I told you. Sunk cost fallacy and China go hand in hand no matter what industry we're discussing. That's just how this goes.
Stupid.
Pawn got the money.
Stupid.
Man. Here comes the money.
Stupid.
I mean, to be fair, let's give them
Game 3 Scout will play. Scout will be put in Game 3. Yep.
Yeah, probably. I mean, look.
And then they'll win a game and then they'll lose Game 4.
In the summer playoffs, Pawn went 4-3, which wasn't, particularly great, but he did play throughout. They only played 8 games in that
Don't
Actually,
care.
no, they played 7 games in the. Oh, that's the spring playoffs. Excuse me. He didn't play in the summer playoffs at all.
No,
I was looking at
he
the
didn't.
wrong chart.
He didn't play at all during
he
the
played
spring,
5
summer.
games in the LPL summer.
Yeah.
He was 4-1 in those games, but that's very.
I don't
small
care.
sample
They have
size.
looked better with Scout. They've just
He
blatantly
lost on
looked better.
Aurelian Sol. That's all you need to know about Pawn. He is the only player who has lost on Aurelian Sol in this tournament.
Scout is the guy that you took to the dance. He's the one who got you through the summer. He's the one that got you through the summer playoffs. And I don't know why you have looked worse with Pawn playing. Go with Scout. Go with the guy who at least is willing to go top and give Mouse some
Don't
credit.
say you don't know why. We know why. It has everything to do with money. Like, that's all it is. China does not. There's no way.
Then they're stupid.
Here was the meeting with Aaron. It's like Aaron's like, I want to start Scout, and the ownership's like, okay, how much do we pay Pawn again? $750,000
Then you don't
a year.
care about
Guess
winning.
what? Pawn started.
No, fine. If that's what it is, EDG, your ownership is stupid.
Here's what I don't understand: is they're selectively stupid because they didn't play him in the LPL playoffs, which were equally as relevant to Edward Gaming as far as making it to Worlds and being in a good place to succeed.
I'm just
like,
no.
they've had this exact choice to make, and they've made the right
I'm gonna
one.
hate bet against them. I'm literally gonna hate bet against EDG.
I don't know where you're gonna find value in that because
I don't care. It's gonna be a esoteric victory. It's gonna be like I don't care. I don't care about making money on it. I just want to bet against them because they're stupid. Let's see how many times I can use the same word in one segment. Stupid. You guys are stupid. I wish I could swear because you're stupid.
I love it so much.
God damn,
let the hate fuel you, man. I don't think Pawn is a bad mid laner.
You looked better with Scout. You looked better with Scout.
Of course
EDG
they
looked
did.
way better with Scout. Let's be honest.
Of course they did. The only 2 losses they had in this tournament were 2-1 with Scout, and they're 2-2 with Pawn for a 4-3 record overall.
Stupid.
But Scout just looked better. The games they won with him just looked a lot cleaner. I don't know. Maybe it's particularly what they think Kuro's going to be playing, and they want to counter exactly that. Look, man, I just tell you the news. I think that Rocks Tigers, I talked about this on the pod, I think they're going to wake up. I don't think it matters who ADG was playing in the mid lane. But as soon as I heard that news, I did bump my line a little bit. So let's see where it went. Walter, where did you put the line?
Stupid. 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 Rocks Tigers minus 333.
Yeah, I get this one. Here's where I get my point.
Bull.
Bring it back within 1.
That's bull.
I said Rocks minus 400. It's Rocks minus 370. Which means I'm closer by like 7 points. And that's more than enough points for me. With 1 point of dominance. Look, I'm just...
Stupid. I can't get over it. I'm going to gamble on Rocks Tigers to win this game. To win this series. I'm just going to take every single bet I can for Rocks Tigers.
Just...
Stupid. You're stupid, Aaron. Stupid.
It's not Aaron's fault. Come on. Like,
I don't give a crap
really think
whose
that the
fault
coach
it
is the one making the decision on that?
I don't care whose fault it is. You're stupid. I'll call Pawn stupid for being like, yeah, okay, I'll start. Pawn should be the one going, I've been playing poorly. You guys look better with Scout. Play Scout, please.
No,
go win me
shut
my
up.
championship.
Shut up. If TSM came up to you the day before Worlds and said, Walter, we want you to start on the world stage for us, you'd say yes in 0.25 seconds.
I'd be like, you're not going to win a game with me playing. What are you talking about?
You get to say that you're a world championship. He gets to say for the rest of his life, I played in the world quarterfinals for Edward Gaming against the Korean
He already has a world
champions.
championship. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He has a world championship. It's stupid.
It's pride.
Stupid.
It's pride.
Stupid.
It's
stupid. It's
just do me a favor. If
stupid.
you're gonna hate bet against them, bet under 5 maps. If you bet under 5 maps, it's minus 280. 286.
Under 5 maps, first blood, first dragon, first tower, first map, everything. Anything I can get on Rocks Tigers, all in. All in. I'm cashing in on them.
That's your prerogative.
Stupid.
Last game. This will cheer you back up. HTK versus Albus NoX.
I don't lose. I can't lose.
We can't. No one here loses except for salty North America fans once Cloud9 gets eliminated.
I can't lose. I can't lose.
And they try to. I will say, there's been nothing more interesting than watching the subreddit devolve into absolute chaos because first it was haha EU sucks, which was propagated mostly by EU fans, and NA joined in. Yep. And then NA got crucified in week 2 when things looked like things weren't going well. And Europe, it was suddenly NA sucks, screw you guys, you never had our back, even though there were many threads in which they did. And then suddenly Cloud9 gets through, and now everyone's quiet, and everyone sucks, or everyone's good, and no one knows what to say. And now, the biggest thing, I will say, I have one pet peeve. I have one big pet peeve, and I'm stating this on the record right now. Anyone who calls Albus NoX Luna a European team can go screw themselves. Screw you. Before the tournament started, you never would have claimed them as a European team. There was not a single person out there in this entire world who was going out and saying, oh yeah, Albus NoX, the 4th European team at this tournament, a team I am proud to associate with Europe, a team that I want judged alongside my other European representatives when the whole thing comes in. None of you were there. Not a single one of you guys. And it's a great story, and you can pull your, it's geographically located. Screw you. You never would have owned up to them. You do not get the right to grab them as your own when you never even knew a single name of these players before the tournament started.
If I may,
no. I will not let that happen.
I need to put on my flame retardant suit here because I can't be the target of your ire. Because I was on board with this team from day one. I love it.
Of course you were, because you watched the international wild card.
I didn't think they were going to win a game, but I still was like, I would love to see this team be successful. This team makes me happy. And
go check the records of our Guest Alliance podcast. We were rooting for them. We loved Liquid's brand. When we previewed the team, we wanted them to do well. We just thought they were in a place where they couldn't. They did. Awesome. Really happy about it. But no one could have predicted them to do well. But at least we had their back.
The first icon I upgraded all the way to tier 3 was Albus NoX. And then it was TSM. And then it was H2K.
You have every right to claim Albus NoX. But at the very least, like as a fan, and you can't say that you got the pick right. None of us did. Oh, absolutely
not.
But
no, we still thought they were
16. You were there. All of the people on Reddit right now with Albus NoX and Luna flares, I would love their post history. I would love to see a single post about Albus NoX Luna before the tournament started. I would love it. Let's do a deep dive. Let's Jacob Wolf. I want you on the report. Every single person who's claiming Albus NoX Luna is European now. How many of them said a single word about this team?
I need Monty's train whistle. That's what I need. We need to go back to season 3 and get his train whistle and his conductor hat because I'm at the head of the Albus NoX bandwagon. And the funny thing is, I'm also at the head of the Forgiven bandwagon. So I can't lose. I cannot lose.
And this is the thing, right? You don't care enough about neither of these teams are like TSM levels of caring. Where there's one you secretly want to win. It's like how all parents pretend that they don't have a favorite kid. Every parent, it changes from day to day. I'm not saying it's consistent, but at any given time, there's one kid who's doing the things that you like, and there's another one who's not really responding to your calls or whatever. You're like, that kid. That's... look, it's just human nature. I'm not blaming anybody for that. I'm just saying, you don't have it. There's no favorite kid in this fight for you. There's no way I'm talking to you on Sunday and you're disappointed. No. The only thing that would be disappointing is if this was a 3-0 blowout, which I don't think is going to happen. Mostly because I don't think either of these teams are good enough to blow out the other.
I can't lose. I don't care which team makes it through. I don't care what happens. Literally, both teams could come out and they could shake hands and have a coin flip for who goes on. Nothing could disappoint me with this. I'm happy either way. Either I get forgiven on a semifinal stage or we get to continue this awesome Cinderella story that is Albus NoX. It is a Cinderella story, whether you like it or not.
River is so mad at you.
I don't care, because in the context of this tournament, this is a Cinderella story. I'm sorry. Everyone said this is the 16th ranked team. They're not going to win a game. G2 CLG rocks. They're just too good. And they were one game away from taking number 1 out of this group. I don't want to hear you say that.
There's a 0 to hero story.
Is it Aladdin? Is it Aladdin then?
No, Aladdin had a magical wish come through. This is just it. It's not magic.
Nothing's ever magic. Nothing is ever magic. The Chicago Cubs being good the last 3 years isn't magic, but it still was a Cinderella story when they finally made the playoffs. It's a catch-all. It doesn't
That cliche
necessarily
needs to
mean
die.
magic had to happen.
Much like TSM, that cliche needs to die. Or no, I should say not like TSM, like Weldon Green's career, that needs to die. That's
There
what
we
I'll
go.
say.
There we go.
There
we go.
See, I can bring it back around and form unity again on this podcast. Where do you think the line was, Walter?
So, I didn't drink the Albus NoX Kool-Aid like someone did, because apparently Albus NoX Luna, LCL, LMS must have gotten you confused or something, because there was an L at the beginning of it. I have...
As opposed to the LPL? Like, what in the world?
So I have...
LCK? The LCS? They all begin with L. What are you talking about?
CBLOL. CBLOL doesn't.
Yeah, CBLOL also doesn't exist in this tournament anymore.
The Oceania League doesn't begin with L. It ends with L.
Just give me the line. Give me the line.
I have H2K minus 333.
Okay, so you're going to get the point. I'm just letting you know now. I said H2K minus 240.
Yeah.
It's H2K minus 370.
Okay. Seems right.
Why? Out of this, we saw 2 7-game sample sizes from these teams. What in the world? I'm going to put this in. I want you guys to understand why I'm upset by this line. I'm going to put it in a way that is very clear to understand. So they're saying Albus NoX plus 260. So plus 260 in these decimal odds means that there is a 28% chance of winning. 28%? Did you see H2K's early game? Early mid game? Come on. This is not a blowout series. We've seen Albus NoX Luna tear apart teams like, for example, Counter Logic Gaming, the closest analog that you can find to H2K right now.
Calm down.
No, I'm not going to calm down.
No, you calm down, goddammit. You
Minus
know why?
333.
You know why there's no respect?
77%. You'd have to be
know-
a crazy person to think they win
Calm
77% of the
No,
time.
you know why there's no respect. You know exactly why they have no respect, why H2K has such a high line. You know exactly the reason why. It's because no matter how well Albus NoX Luna played during that 7-game stretch and that they got into the quarterfinals, they are still an international wildcard team.
It's the only 7-game stretch that matters. Are we going to keep making that excuse if they beat H2K, or if they somehow made it to the finals and they beat Samsung Galaxy?
And they will still be
then
massive underdogs. They will still be massive underdogs because they'll be against EDG, Royal, Rocks, Tigers, or SKT. Do you want them any closer than plus 250?
On week 8, when we went through all those lines, you were the one who said, and I quote, all of this is going to be skewed because of whatever formula they use. The Flash Wolves looked like bigger winners than they were. If you go by the formula, this line is nowhere near minus 370. So they took the formula, said, it's a wild card team, and then moved it all the way over. There's no way off of the 7-game sample size.
What was their before any games were played future odds? Remember where they came from.
But
remember how much they have to swing. Think about how far they absolutely have to swing. And if you're the casino right now, you still don't trust that this team, that 7 games wasn't an aberration, because you have to go and look at the entire rest of the season. All they did was dominate their own home region. They dominated a weaker region.
Oh, come on.
I don't like it, but I'm explaining, and this is you've taught me this. I have to think like the casino.
I understand.
I can't think like myself. If it was just me, it would have been closer. I agree. But the
one of the 2 things should be true. One of 2 things should be true. Either one, we should be judging it based off of performance and giving regional strength and whatever else into account. And Flash Wolf should never have had the positive lines that they had last week. Or we should be looking purely at the sample size and the formula of what they've done in the games that have been played, and this line should never be this high. I don't care which option you want to take, but both of those statements cannot be true at the same time.
But it's a combination of those two. If you just went with the current sample size, that means at the beginning of the tournament, everyone would have had equal odds to win the tournament. Everyone would have been flat
at the
across
beginning
the
of the
board.
Tournament, but we've got 7 games.
Right, but you have to look at it like this. Okay, SKT starts here. This is where they start at the beginning of the tournament, and then they go 6-1. They go up a little. Okay, they do go up a little. Now Albus NoX starts. You can't even see on the camera because I'm basically touching my floor. and now they're up to like my desk level. That's still like this much space until they get to like SKT space. There's a lot of space in there that they still have to fill.
Okay.
The casino isn't comfortable with only 7 games to say, yeah, sure, they filled all that space. They deserve to be plus 150 against H2K. It's just never going to happen.
Albus NoX was minus 400 against CLG, a team that they had already beaten last week.
Yep.
They then went on that week to beat Rocks Tigers and CLG.
Yep.
And the line has moved a whole 30 points on a logarithmic scale, which is basically 0.02 points in a decimal scale.
Mm-hmm. And what are the odds? What are the odds that H2K just 3-0 them?
Much less than I guarantee the odds are. Look, I think Albus NoX wins this series. I'm betting Albus NoX plus 260 in 0.25 seconds. I picked him to win 3-2. I still feel that way. I think H2K's biggest weakness is Albus NoX's strength. And we saw what they did to a team with mid-game weaknesses in CLG. They won both of those games handily.
And they didn't and H2K didn't have mid-game weaknesses in week 2.
Oh, come on.
They did not. Don't you?
Are you kidding me?
That 4-0 was clean. They played their style. They covered up their weaknesses.
Look, I don't mean to laugh at your analysis, but that is the funniest thing I have heard in a long time. You look at any Twitter person during those games, we were all pointing out they didn't know when to go for Dragons. They didn't know when to go for Barons. They kept throwing up 50-50s that would not, most of the time jump back in their face. Their mid-game was atrocious. Their late game was good. Their early game was good. Their mid-game was terrible. That's why everyone was saying Group C was a mistake. That was the top thing that we came away from that. H2K did not look... That was the worst 4-0 I have ever seen on a world stage. It was terrible. They do not know what to do. From the 15-minute mark to the 28-minute mark, they have no idea what to do.
Okay.
They don't.
Okay.
Look at the gold dips. When you look at the match histories, look at how the gold is. Look at how good they're doing in 15 minutes. Look at how stagnant or whatever it gets, and then they win because their late game is amazing. Because once Forgiven gets his item spike and he just takes over team fights, they're great again. But that mid game is where Albus NoX is at their best and they're at their worst. Undoubtedly. Undoubtedly.
We'll see. We'll see. I think that mid game was cleaner than people are giving them credit for, just because the entire group looked like a clown fiesta. Was it as clean as an SKT? Absolutely not. But I think it was cleaner than people were giving them credit for.
I will respect. I will take back my laughs and turn to a respectful disagreement. But I think at the very least we could say that the wide analyst pool, ranging, every article that's been written about it says that H2K's mid game is a clear cause for concern. Every single person that I have talked to outside of you feels that H2K's mid game is a huge cause for concern.
I agree. That's their weakest point, but I don't think it was as gut-wrenchingly awful as people are making it out to be in week 2. Week 1, it was atrocious. I will completely agree with you. Yeah. Week 2, I think they cleaned it up a bit. It was not perfect. It was not Rocks or SKT level mid-game. I will completely concede that
Would you say it was good?
I will say it was decent. For H2K, it was a decent mid-game.
I think Albus NoX is great in the mid-game. I think they're not so good laning. Compared to
my problem is they're gonna just get crushed in the laning phase. They're gonna be down 3,000 or 4,000 gold based off of the laning phase, and H2K is the team that is the most willingest team on the planet to say, "I'll have a 45-minute laning phase. We'll just let Forgiven and Ryu farm for 40 minutes. That'll be fine." I don't think that Albus NoX is good enough to take advantage of that. I don't think they will force H2K out of laning phase, because I think that despite the fact that Kira is a decent mid laner and probably deserves to be in the LCS, I don't think he's going to shove Ryu out of lane. I think Smurf only showed up on one champion, and that was Poppy, which will just ban out and not worry about. I don't think he can shove Odoamne completely out of lane and say, all right, let's actually start grouping and team fighting. And there's no chance in hell, no matter what nice things Licorice says on stage and gets everyone to applaud his AD carry, there is no chance in hell that A Miracle is going to be able to control that lane against Forgiven. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. So I look at this and go, how do Albus NoX...
And they kept even. They kept even in laning phase.
Those guys, Prey and Kuro, are not as strong a laning duo as Ryu and Forgiven, and I will say that as a fact. They are very, very safe. They sit back, they don't take any risks, and that's the difference. Ryu and Forgiven will snap that trap. Ryu had moments where he snapped with Yanko coming in, and they just snapped a trap and killed people. And you're talking about Forgiven. You want to compare Prey and Forgiven?
Forgiven, I will agree with you. I disagree on the difference between Kuro and Ryu, but that's fine. The good news is we said going into this, we thought this was going to be a 20 to 30 minute episode, and this rant alone got us to 45.
There you go.
Which is good. We needed this.
There you go. There you go.
Let us know in the comments what you think. We read every comment you guys give us. Obviously, we're talking about our YouTube on this. YouTube.com, search Rough Drafts Podcast. We're still a few subscribers away from having a unique URL. Sorry about that, guys. But you can fix that by subscribing. Really helps us out. And I will respond to all of these comments. I'm sure some of you right now are looking at me like I'm an insane person. I have to get worked up about something. I'm now 2 points behind with 3 games to go. I could not afford that loss, and I think the line is. I think your line makes a lot more sense to me than Unicorn's line. I'll put it that way. I could have lived with your line. Unicorn's line, it's a 79% chance. That's crazy to me. But whatever. That's my thing. You can let me know in the comments.
Wildcard, boys.
You could, of course, soundcloud.com/esportsroughdrafts, or on iTunes if you search Rough Drafts Podcast. If you prefer the audio-only version, that's how you can do that sort of thing. And, of course, you can find us on social media. At Rough Drafts Pod is where we'll be live tweeting throughout all of these. I think, Walter, you'll probably be joining a little bit more this time around, right? Because I've been doing the bulk of the live tweeting.
Yeah, I'll be. See, my problem with the live tweeting is that I like to do more expletive-driven stuff. I'm like, holy, what was that? Or like things like that. And I'm very like intently watching the games to the point where I'm like, I know I have 3 monitors, but like alt tabbing to the monitor to like type something is just like, no, I want to watch this game. I don't care that this AHQ versus INTZ game is causing my eyes to bleed with how horrendous it is.
I don't know if you know this, Walter, but there's this thing called a phone.
Even pulling my hand, see, it's just, it's hard. It's like watching Everybody Loves Hypnotoad. Like, it's just, I don't want to take my eyes away.
We're just learning that I care just a little bit more about giving the people what they want. That's all we're learning. That's fine. That's absolutely fine.
Fair enough.
If you want to talk to us directly on social media, I am at RedShirtKing on Twitter. Walter, where can the nice people at home find you?
Going into the semifinals with a 2-point lead. I'm 2 games ahead with 3 to play. At Ceades _LOL. And tweet me some ideas. What should we punish Chase with? Because we decided we're not going to go with the profile picture this time. So give me some ideas. What can I do to him when I win? Maybe I'll make him call me. Maybe I'll have to refer to him as 00 from here on out. How does that sound? If I win, basically, you can only respond to 00.
The only thing that's out of bounds, we can't do anything that would get me fired or, in my particular situation, lose me a chance at a job. So that's why Twitter profiles are off the picture. That's why those kind of things are there. So any ideas you have other than that? Maybe I have to have a 5-minute monologue video just singing Walter's praises. Maybe I have to, write a whole twit longer about how wonderful Forgiven is and why you should all enter the Church of God Given. I don't know. You guys come up with the ideas, so then when I make my 3-game comeback, I could turn it all around.
Maybe we'll know who the winner is by the time Madison Square Garden is. Maybe I'll just have enough of a lead that the final doesn't matter, and I'll have to baptize you in New York into the Church of Forgiven. That sounds like a good one. I like that.
I would love to explain that to my 14-year-old.
I like that.
Hey, you like that?
I like that idea. I'm gonna have to get some sozu. Is that the Greek alcoholic beverage? I'll just buy a bottle of it and I'll just waterboard you with it. That's it. That's the baptismal for the Church of God Given. Uzo. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Uzo. Yeah, I just have to waterboard you with it.
I know my alcohol, man. I know
Uzo.
I just talked about not wanting to lose a job opportunity and then just said alcohol. I got this shit. Anyway, that's it for this podcast. Until next time. Goodbye, Internet.